Good day, campers. Today's video is how to upgrade the vinyl covered wooden valances in mini RVs. We happen to have a toy hauler and we're doing the ones in the garage. So the plan is to take this valance down, remove the vinyl, replace it with a fabric that we like much better, recover the wood, and put it back in place. One thing to remember here is you want to take these valances down one at a time because they're not interchangeable. These brackets are just placed on the wall where the assembly worker thinks they need to go, and a valance that's in one place may not fit where the valance was in another place. Before we get started, let's talk about tools. The kit that I bought from Amazon come with a staple remover. I didn't have much luck using it. I had more luck loosening the staple with my pocket knife and pulling them out with needle nose pliers. I use masking tape to mark where the valance goes so it's easier to find the screw holes. You'll need a Phillips head screwdriver because the screws that hold the valance up are Phillips. Scissors, of course, to cut the fabric. I use a Sharpie to mark where the screw hole is. That's kind of important. And then we have the stapler with the staples. These all came together as a kit. I will link to this kit in the description. The valance is held by two angle brackets. There's a screw from each angle bracket that goes in the wall and into the valance itself. I will be removing the screws from the valance. So you can kind of find the bracket with your fingers and kind of feel for it, and then get the screwdriver started and take the screws out. Okay, so what I have found out is that the easiest way to do this is I take my knife portion of my Leatherman and just work it under the staple and lift one end. After I've lifted a few, then I pull them out with a pair of needle nose pliers. And if you do them in groups, then it seems to go a lot quicker than trying to do one staple at a time. Okay, so now that they're all pulled up, they're fairly short and they come right out. Stop it.
So taking out the staples probably took up most of your time.
Yes.
As far as this whole process is concerned.
Yes. So now that the leather is removed, vinyl is removed, we can use it as a template to cut our fabric. It's not critical that it be exactly the same size. A little bigger doesn't hurt anything. Go ahead and switch to time lapse. With the fabric now cut the same size as the vinyl, we can start to put the fabric back on the carcass of the valance. So you just need 2 or 3 inches, about 3/4 of the available area. Kind of keep it, fairly straight. Staples every few inches. is just fine. I like to work from the center out. That way I can be fairly sure that it's staying straight. Okay. This step is fairly important. You want to get right up in this corner so that the fabric stays tight. Staples fairly close together so that you don't have any wrinkles in your fabric. We don't want to get completely into the corner yet until we actually fold the ends. The next step is now we're going to fold the fabric around the front. You want to kind of pull on this to get it snug and hold it tight. So if you kind of keep it taut and staple it, move a little bit from the center, keep it taut and staple it. Move a little further, keep it taut, staple it. The factory used an awful lot of staples. I'm finding you don't really need that many. This step took a little figuring out actually how to fold this fabric to make it look right on the end. And what we've come up with is if you pull this towards the bottom, kind of hold the inside fabric and line up your fold with the top, then you get a nice smooth lay of fabric. Hold it tight and get a couple staples in it. Then we're going to do basically the same thing from the bottom. And then I'm going to stand it up on end and add a couple of staples here. And then we'll do the same thing on the other end. All right, now that we've recovered this, we don't know where our screw holes are. So what you can, because of the screws they use, they're a little bit too long. I can feel a dimple on the back, and I can feel the bump from the hole on the front. So I will actually find the hole and put the screw in so that it makes a hole in my fabric. And then I'm going to use my laundry marker and mark that hole so I can see it through the hole in the bracket. That's a lot of holes. Now that I've made a hole in my fabric, I'm going to take the laundry marker and make that hole a nice dark black so that I can see it. I'll do the same thing with the other screw hole, and then we'll mount it. The other thing I figured out here is that you need 3 hands to get these screws started. I don't know about you, but I was only issued 2. So I use a piece of masking tape to hold the screw to the tip of the screwdriver. This allows me 1 hand for the screwdriver and 1 hand to hold the valance in place while I start the screw. Okay, so now I have my bracket, I have my marked hole, and start the screw back into the hole. And rip off the tape. So that concludes upgrading an RV valance. You can pick your fabric, anything you like, from any source. Ours happened to come from Walmart. If you like this video, be sure to check out our video on recovering pendant lights. Thanks for watching. And as always, please remember to like and subscribe.